Welcome to the bold analysis. The austere plan of the UDA Secretary General Cleophas Malala was or is expected to have greater political ramifications going forward. And people have been trying to associate Cleophas Malala with the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, especially the uneasiness within the UDA party. And now today, while on a tour of Mount Kenya region, Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua seemed to have avoided the politics surrounding the ouster of the Secretary General. He tried to avoid wading into the politics of this country, as has been the trend in the recent past, but then being a politician, he could not avoid that. I want you to watch this speech by the Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua.
Mimi sitaki ni ongee kupitia hapo. Mambo ya siasa nyinyi muendelee naye. Mimi niko kwa mambo ya maendeleo, niko kwa mambo ya kahawa, mambo ya majani chai, mambo ya bangi, mambo ya pombe, kujenga kanisa, kujenga shule, kusaidia rais afaulu. Sisi tuko hapo. Wale nataka endelea na siasa waendelee, na ni sawa. Lakini wakifanya ile siasa yote wanafanya, wanarudi huko ground, wanasikiza, wanapata mwelekeo, wasikuje kupotea. Because mimi naona wengi watakunywa maji. Si hata nyinyi mko na hiyo report? Mko na, hata mimi niko na hiyo report. Mimi ni mtu ya kusikiliza ground. Mimi sitaki kunywa maji. Hii kazi nilipata juzi na nilikuwa na haja naye. So lazima nichuke kazi yangu. Na njia moja ya kuchunga kazi ni kumheshimu tajiri yako. Na tajiri lazima umsikize anasema nini. So ukikaa unauliza tajiri yako, boss, unataka tufanye namna gani? Hapa naambiwa namna hii, nifanye nini? Hapa mimi nasukumwa nipitishe hii, nifanye ama nisifanye? Hapa ninaambiwa niseme hii, maoni yako ni gani? Wewe ndio mkubwa yangu. These are our bosses. Let's listen to them. And when you get time, viongozi, upitie kwa hao watu au viongozi wako na kola, bishop, canon, hawa wataambia nyinyi ukweli. These are men of God, and they live with the Christians every day. They know what the ground is saying. Kama unaogopa kwenda kwa raia, labda una kitu ya kuwapatia, pitia hapa kanisani. Pate fika, muulize watu wanasema nini. Pate bishop, watu wanasema nini. You get informed so that you make the right decisions and you align yourself with the people. Because at the end of it all, those are your bosses. Those are your employers. And their say is final. And these bosses of ours are very brutal once in 5 years, because they carry out a forensic audit on your performance. And they are very unforgiving. Pale kwa debe, hawa. Hii watu si wazuri vile naona wamekaa hapa. Ni wazuri sana wakikuchagua. But wakimalizana na wewe, unaendaga kwa laini siku ya uchaguzi, ukitaka kujua kama utaanguka ama utapita, unaangalia kina mama. Ukiona wameangalia chini, unajua wewe umeisha. Because women don't like hiding. Hawataki uongo. So anashindwa kukuangalia straight because anajua hakupigi kura. Sasa anaangalia chini. Wanaume watakuangalia macho ni macho na wakunyime kura. But the women, when you go to the line asubuhi, utajua kama umepita ama umeanguka ukiangalia kina mama. If the women look at you straight and they have a small smile, mambo yako iko sawa. If they look down, they don't want to meet you with your eyes direct, mambo yako walimalizana naye kitambo, na hiyo ni forgotten chapter. So our leaders, as we work, let us continuously engage our employers, the people of Kenya, and get direction on how to proceed. And once you do that, you are in good space. Watoto,
kwa sababu wewe umekuwa wa kushikilia vijana. Mimi ni kijana mmoja wa hii county mwenye anaweza ambiwa the youngest deputy governor in this republic. Na tukiangalia nchi yetu na tukiangalia maneno tunayoendelea nayo kwa nchi yetu, vijana wamesimama kindete wakisema kuna mahali kiatu inawauma. Na hii maneno yenye tuko nayo, vijana hawapigi kelele kwa sababu ya kupiga kelele peke yake. Wanapiga kelele kwa sababu they have a need to build a better nation for us. As the deputy president of this republic, I know you have a vested interest in mentoring young leadership. Sisi tuko hapa tukushikilie kama Murang'a County. Na nakuambia nikiwa kama kiongozi wa vijana hapa Murang'a, tuko nyuma yako na tutaendelea kukushikilia. Nikimalizia ya tatu.
It was a wake up call to all of us. Tukae, tujiangalie, and we do factory setting and reset the way we are doing things and the way we see things. Your Excellency, the Deputy President, I want to humbly request you, tukiendelea na hii uongozi na waomba, we stop thinking about personalities, but we start thinking about the issues that Kenyans are facing. Hawa wazazi, they are facing a very difficult time. And now that the economy is on the recovery path, naomba tuanze kufikiria maneno ya hawa wazazi na watoto wetu, because they are here and they are trusting us in the leadership. So to us, especially the members of parliament, I also plead with the members of parliament that we have no time for sideshows. And I want to assure you, Your Excellency, nimesikia tu hiyo inaitangwa mushene, that there might be an impeachment. And I think I've been on record saying I will not sign, I cannot sign. And I have no time for that, because we need to sit in parliament and discuss bills that are going to be positive to our education, that are going to help and support our community, lakini sio kufikiria maneno ya personalities. Mimi nilikuwa mtu wa Azimio, na nilijaribu kusukuma mzee, tukaanguka kwa mlima, tukigwa hakigwa tagishora kamundu. Na mugitumena muno ni tondu twamwendeirie baba. Na riu ndironire niwe riu uracokire raingira nginya riko. Ngai witu arwo murathima muno. Riu tuikare twi Kenya, ndiraiguire two broad based, tupendane sisi wote. But I want to remind the Kenya Kwanza government that you came in because you trusted in God, and because you prayed and God gave you leadership. Stop looking for solutions from individuals, including myself and Sabina. Musitafute your solutions thinking that you'll get organized if you get individuals. Remember, your foundation was God. Mutikariganirwo ni Ngai mwambie gucaria mahinya kuri andu tondu andu matikumuteithia muno. Muririkane ati hinya uria ombokagia ndege niguo wigaga riera-ini. Koguo mwihoke Ngai rugendo-ini.
There are issues that are coming out clearly from the speech that was released by Rigathi Gachagua, and also some of the people who attended this event. One thing that remains is that people want, or the people around Rigathi Gachagua are daring the people who said that they'll impeach Rigathi Gachagua to bring it on. That is one thing that they are clearly waiting for. I know that impeachment plan will not go on. Already, they have sent some message by impeaching Cleophas Malala from his position. Now they want to see, is it true that also that a similar trajectory will be followed in regards to the conduct of business around Rigathi Gachagua? Now, from the speech, there are things that are coming out clearly. That for one, Rigathi Gachagua seems to be careful not to preempt his plan moving forward. I think that is why he tried to avoid, he said at some point that mambo ya siasa nimeachia wanasiasa wapige siasa. That is why he tried to avoid himself trying to go to that direction of adding his voice as to whether he supports the move to oust Cleophas Malala or he rejects it. That one came out clearly from his speech. Then also, he still maintains that the ground will talk. That is what Rigathi Gachagua maintains, that the ground will talk when the time will be ripe. And the issue of the ground talking, Rigathi Gachagua is trying to play a politics of trying to solidify the ground in his favor. That is why he slowly seems to be winning some of his harsh critics. I saw the other day the Mathira member of parliament, who seemed to be reading from a different script from Rigathi Gachagua, seemed to have made a U-turn and now seems to be in his camp. People like Sabina Chege, I saw her, she accompanied Rigathi Gachagua today. So with the time, it seems that in as much as people are criticizing him for only concentrating in Mount Kenya, but then I think that the political endgame of this, one thing that Rigathi Gachagua really wanted, he wants to be the regional kingpin of Mount Kenya. And through sympathy, he's really going to win that. That is not sitting pretty well with some of his critics, but in the long run, that might work in his favor. Because the politics that he's playing, he's trying to read from Ruto's playbook. I will tell you that within this analysis of how exactly he's trying to do that. But then before that also, you know, from his speech, if you listen carefully, Rigathi seems to be sending a coded political message, especially to his critics and people who seem to be opposed to him, that when people will go to the ballot, then the ballot will decide. That is the message that he's sending, that in his bid to try to solidify his support or his base, then the ballot will truly speak. And some of the people who are criticizing him from within the mountain, if they are not careful enough also to re-strategize and redraw in terms of their politics in the mountain, then issues might not sit pretty well with them come 2027. Because Rigathi Gachagua seems to be in a political terrain to destabilize, he will take that to destabilize some of his critics if they are not careful. And that might have informed the decision for hardliners against him, the likes of Eric Wamumbi, to have seen that and try to make a political U-turn. Because they know maybe at the end, Rigathi Gachagua might emerge as the political kingpin of the Mount Kenya region, especially from the playbook that he's trying to read from. Other thing that is here, or that presents itself from that Rigathi Gachagua speech today, you know, that in the event of a breakup, just in case, we are not saying that maybe in the event of a political breakup between the unity between him and William Ruto, then it won't be an easy one, especially. It won't be an easy one for some people who are in UDA and are from Mount Kenya, who tend to think that they can easily write off Rigathi Gachagua. That one won't be the case, because Rigathi politics seem, after solidifying the mountain, when he will finally give his way ahead of his interpretation of listening from the ground, then he might shake the mountain, because he seems to be wanting to pull it from a sympathy card. And when he'll play that sympathy card, of course, already there are people who have now been sent on the ground to try to sell that idea that, you know, they are playing an isolationist politics against us. Therefore, the mountain will therefore decide that, you know, the only person that is now powerful in terms of the power optics of the mountain is Rigathi Gachagua. Therefore, we have no choice but to stand with him if we want to be in the next government. Therefore, that one might work from him, because he seems to be directly reading from Ruto's script, where he is now more friendlier to the church. He is going for donations, despite the president declaring that going forward public servants or civil servants won't be allowed to participate in donations. But he even said there that he will support some donations, and trying to appeal to women. And when I know from him, from where he sits, he says that when he appeals to women, then to women it's easy to sell to them that sympathy cry, and they will listen, and maybe they will vote for him, or they'll stand with him. Clearly, he also, as I've told you, has avoided that politics at the UDA party on suspension of Malala, who was seen as a close ally of him, even though he hinted, the president rather, spoke, that is William Ruto spoke in theatre today and hinted at supporting the ouster of Malala. Therefore, that confirms to you that they are reading from different books or from different sides of the book, where the president said that he was advising people in UDA to avoid that chaos in UDA. Just listen to the president's speech.
Tumekubaliana? So hiyo kazi nataka tuendelee namna hiyo. Nimesema hivi. Mimi nataka niwaulize hawa viongozi. Nataka niwaulize ndugu zangu wa Kenya. Tuko na nafasi ya kipekee kama taifa kupanga mambo ya maendeleo ya Kenya, kuhakikisha ya kwamba tunawaweka wa Kenya pamoja. Juzi mimi nimetengeneza baraza la mawaziri na serikali mpya ambayo inaunganisha wa Kenya wote. Mimi nawauliza wa Kenya, now that we have a government that brings majority of Kenyans, the face of Kenya together, I want to ask fellow Kenyans, for all of us, to bring our capabilities, our talents, our energy, our ideas together so that we can drive this country to the greatest potential that we have as a nation. So that together we can unlock the huge potential that exists in Kenya. So that we can make sure that together we can create opportunities for our young people to work. We can create opportunities for business to thrive. We can create opportunity for us to have food security in Kenya. We can create opportunities for us to have more exports. This is the moment for Kenya to work together. Kenyans to work together. Leaders from Kenya to work together. I am asking each and every one of us for us to be able to work together. Hakuna haja ya mashindano madogo madogo. Hata chama yetu ya UDA, Kenya Kwanza, mimi nataka niwaeleze tuwache fujo, tuwache mashindano ndani ya chama, tuhakikishe ya kwamba tunawaunganisha wa Kenya wote, tupeleke taifa letu la Kenya mbele. Watu yati tunakubaliana jameni? Mimi nawauliza tena. Serikali mimi nimetengeneza ya kuunganisha wa Kenya wote ili tuweze kufanya kazi kwa pamoja. Vijana wetu tuwashughulikie, tupange nafasi ya ajira, tupange nafasi ya biashara, tupigane na mambo ya ufisadi ili tuhakikisha kwamba Kenya inapiga hatua ya kwenda mbele kwa kuungana pamoja. Ndio tuweze kupanga mambo ya Kenya iweze. Ngojeni kwanza mambo ya katiba, hoja ingoje kwanza. Kwa sababu sasa tukienda biashara ya kupanga mambo ya katiba hiyo itachukua muda mrefu. Wacha kwanza tufukuze hii umaskini, tupange hii mambo ajira hawa.
So going forward, things might be interesting, especially in UDA, and especially the relationship between Rigathi Gachagua and his boss William Ruto, and in terms of the politics of the mountain. That marks the end of our analysis. Thank you for watching.